Part 2 of the Student Planning instructional video is about basic navigation within student planning. To access student planning, you'll want to go to the My UNOH portal and open up the Academic Planning and Schedule menu and click on Student Planning. This will take you to the overview screen where you'll have the choice of going to My Progress or Plan and Schedule. Also on this screen is your current schedule, so if you have a current schedule, it's located at the bottom. But in this case, we want to go to Plan and Schedule. For the moment, we'll jump over to Jaden's timeline. And you can see that for fall quarter, he has these light gray courses that are registered, and he has one spare class that is not registered. You can tell the difference between the registered and planned courses because the registered courses are light gray with a check mark, and the unscheduled classes unregistered are dark gray. Going backwards in timeline, Jaden also has proficiency credit for basic English and for review math, and has transfer credit for composition 1 and marketing. Credit for the basic English and review math can be granted by taking placement tests and for submitting ACT and SAT scores that satisfy the requirement. More information about taking placement tests will be provided in just a little bit. As you can see in this timeline, Jaden has only courses for fall quarter planned and registered. Winter quarter will be taken care of during fall quarter, and he'll work on that and also work with the advising office to review the plan and make sure it's a good plan. In some cases, the advising office may already have loaded your core classes into future quarters. So if you see a list of courses going forward in future quarters, don't worry about that. The advising office took care of that to speed up your planning process for you. At this time, I just want to point out one difference between certain courses. You can see that MT150 is just the course number. Accounting 1 here, for example, has a period 3 MWF. The planned courses do not have a specific time assigned to them. Registered courses do. So you do have to convert your planned course numbers into actual assigned times. That is the scheduling registration process versus planning. Students can plan their courses at any time, but they can only register during open registration periods. Watch your UNOH email for announcements about registration periods, and also every Monday, Campus Updates will send an email with important information about the coming week. Be sure to check your email at least 3 times a week, and also make sure that you are watching for key emails from departments, especially from the advisor email account. So far in Plan and Schedule, we've looked at the Schedule tab and the Timeline tab. The Advising tab has a feature for sending us a note. If you send us a note, put a note in this Notes account here, it is not an email account. We will not see it. If you have any urgent information to share with us, be sure to use email. Do not put it in a note because we will not see it unless we are in your student planning account. Okay, there are 2 other primary screens that we want to access. In order to jump between the main sections, you have to list the student planning and go to, for example, My Progress. My Progress is your shopping list. So if Timeline is your shopping cart, My Progress is your shopping list. It will show you what your current estimated graduation date, and it will also show your current GPA. 2.0 is required for good standing. Keep your grades up. A grade of C or better is expected for good standing. It is important that you understand My Progress. It does take some time for you to become familiar with it, but basically do take some time, scroll through it, and look at the individual headings for each section. So this section here, section 2, is a list of all these required courses. Since the student has them all registered or planned or transferred, the section is fully planned. It's kind of a check off to show you that you are taken care of. Now, this section has neither planned nor registered classes, so they are listed as not started. These are the courses that Jaden will have to plan and register in the future. As you scroll to the bottom, towards the bottom of the My Progress, you'll start to get to the elective sections and the general education requirements. You see that this is a list of courses here, but not all of them are needed. This particular section for this student in a business program only needs 6 credits, which is 2 classes. So read each section heading carefully so that you don't plan courses you don't need to plan. Also, watch out for headings that say OR, PY177 or SO186. Only one of those courses needed. Students in bachelor's degree programs have many more electives at the 300-400 level. In this case, this is another OR to take one of those 3 classes, to take biology or physics. But there's also practicum electives for business programs only. Other majors don't have practicums. Then they do have literature electives, humanities electives, gen ed electives. More information about how to pick those out will be presented in another part of this instruction video. Just so you know, questions about choosing electives is the most common question that we get, but we are prepared to help you with all of your questions about those. The last main feature of student planning is located in the Academics drop-down tab. It's called Course Catalog. And this is where you can look up course information. I'm going to use BU 220, Managerial Accounting, as an example. Not everyone needs this course, but it's an example. When you type in the course number, it gives you the name, credit hours, gives you the course description of that particular course, and most importantly, it tells you what the prerequisites are. You must take Accounting 1 before taking BU 220. If you are an on-campus student, it's only available fall, winter, spring. If it's virtual college, it's only available fall, spring. So it's extremely important that you put the course into a quarter when it is offered and after you have the requisite completed. Those are 2 of the golden rules of planning and registering. One final screen that is beneficial just as you're starting is an academics test summary. Very important for you to get your placement testing completed. Here you can see Jaden has submitted ACT scores, and he also took the basic English placement test. So he got a greater than 70% on the placement test. He received basic English credit, and his ACT English score was high enough to be granted credit. If you have any questions about your placement testing needs, email the advisor at unoh.edu email account, and we will be able to tell you specifically what you need or don't need to take for placement testing. This is where you might want to get a pencil out and write a few notes. If you have not completed your placement testing and if you're not sure what placement testing you need, email advisor. When you are ready to take the placement testing, then you can request your test to be set up by going to www.unoh.edu/placement, request your tests, and then go to the My UNOH portal and click on the virtual college link to get to the placement testing course to take your tests. This concludes the overview of the main screens and how to navigate between them in student planning.